If a man is falling in love with you, he won't always say it. And that's what makes it confusing. Love doesn't always arrive with words. Sometimes it arrives quietly, in the way he pauses before hanging up, in how he notices your silence, in the way your emotions suddenly matter to him. You start asking yourself, is this real, or am I imagining things? Because you've been wrong before. You gave meaning to attention. You trusted potential, and you paid for it with your heart. So now you watch closely, and that's when you notice the shift. He shows up without being asked, not just when it's easy, but when it's uncomfortable, when he's tired, when he has nothing to gain. As Maya Angelou once said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. A man falling in love doesn't talk more. He stays more. He listens, not to fix you, but to understand you. He becomes careful with your feelings, because hurting you now feels like hurting himself. Then something deeper happens. He lets you see behind the mask, the fears, the pressure, the parts he never planned to share. That's not weakness. That's trust, because men don't open their hearts unless love is already there. So if you're feeling calmer instead of anxious, safe instead of confused, chosen instead of chased, you're not overthinking. You're watching love take shape, quietly, honestly, real. He hasn't said the words you're waiting for. No, I love you. No clear label. No moment you can point to and say, this is it. So you do what strong women learn to do. You guard your heart. Because you remember the last time you trusted silence. The last time you filled in the gaps with hope. The last time certainty arrived too late. Yet something about him doesn't feel empty. It feels restrained. That's where the confusion lives. You wonder if he's unsure or simply careful. If he's distant or quietly choosing you. And that uncertainty keeps you awake longer than you admit. But psychology reveals something important. Men often experience commitment internally, before they express it verbally. They move through feeling before speaking, through responsibility before romance. As Albert Einstein once said, the most important thing is not to stop questioning. Because the right question isn't, why hasn't he said it yet? It's this, what is he already doing? Is he present when life gets heavy? Does he remain consistent when no one is watching? Does he treat your emotions with care instead of convenience? Those actions aren't hesitation. They're evidence. Real love doesn't rush to be announced. It settles quietly, shaping behavior long before language arrives. And sometimes, the deepest certainty isn't found in words, but in what's steadily shown. Here's the moment everything begins to shift. He doesn't announce it. He doesn't make a show. He simply shows up, without prompting, without expectation. Not because he has to, but because being there for you suddenly feels essential. He checks in, not to control, not to impress, but to connect, to feel near, even when words fail, even when life is chaotic or exhausting. Consistency becomes his quiet language, not just on bright, easy days, but on the ordinary, messy, unremarkable days. The days where no one is watching. The days where it would be easier to disappear. Because when a man is genuinely falling in love, your presence becomes a part of his rhythm, a subtle, steady part of his world. As Richard Branson once said, business opportunities are like buses. There's always another one coming. But relationships are rare. Treat them with care. And love works the same way. It's in the steady attention, the unwavering presence, the small, unspoken gestures that say, I see you. I choose you. I'm here. This is the point where doubt fades. When you realize it's not the words that matter most. It's the action, the commitment, the consistency that quietly proves his heart is already yours. Then something even deeper begins to unfold. He starts noticing the little things, the subtle shifts in your mood, the quiet tension in your voice, the moments when you try to hide how you feel. Instead of brushing it off, he pauses. He listens. He absorbs. He doesn't rush to fix you because he knows some moments aren't about solutions. They're about being seen, being understood. Every choice he makes, every word he speaks, suddenly carries weight. He becomes mindful of how his actions touch your heart, aware that even the smallest gestures can heal or hurt. This isn't effort. This isn't pretending. This is emotional investment. Because as Warren Buffett wisely said, someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. A man who protects your emotions is planting a life together, silently and steadily. Long before he ever says, "I love you," he only guards what he truly treasures. And right now, your heart has become his priority. And then, something extraordinary happens. He begins to lower the walls he's carried for so long. He shares the fears he usually hides, the pressures he rarely admits, and the mistakes he's never spoken aloud. Not to impress you, not to perform, not to gain approval. He opens his heart because he finally feels safe in your presence. Because love has created a space where vulnerability is not weakness, it is trust. Men don't reveal these parts of themselves unless affection has taken root. It's not confusion. It's not hesitation. It's genuine attachment. As Brené Brown reminds us, vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. This is the moment you realize he's not just here physically, he's here emotionally, and his heart is choosing yours quietly, consistently, intentionally. If you're wondering whether he's truly falling in love, don't focus only on the words he speaks. Notice how he shows up when it matters most. Observe how he safeguards your feelings, how he makes space for you in his world without force or expectation. This is love speaking quietly, steadily, without drama. It's not in declarations, it's in dedication. As Steve Jobs once said, your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. Love is the same. Actions that are genuine, consistent, and intentional are what truly matter. Have you ever felt this kind of care before? Share your experience in the comments. If this brought clarity to your heart, subscribe for more truths about love. Like and share it with someone who needs to hear this today.